Welcome to the 5th episode of the Join Us at the Bar podcast.
We're here for you.
We are your co-hosts. I'm Lisa Hansen, the executive editor here at the Iowa State Bar Association.
I'm Haley Bowman, communications director here at the ISBA. This podcast was created because of ISBA member feedback suggesting a podcast.
And here we are.
Please subscribe below. Click that subscribe button for a lighthearted conversation covering topics impacting the law and profession every other month.
That's right. Lighthearted, yet legit. One quick disclosure. While we work for attorneys, we listen to attorneys, we love attorneys, we are not attorneys. So please do not take anything that we say as legal advice. Don't cite us in any of your cases. Not attorneys, just here for you.
That's right. We support attorneys 100% in their service to clients, the community, and judicial system, but we are not lawyers.
Not lawyers. Mm-mm. So in case this is your first time joining us, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. We did kind of just want to run through how the episodes normally break down. We have a theme, a leadership development takeaway, our highly anticipated, wait, what? This episode's shocking statistic, and then we dive into a case study. So this episode's theme is going to be based around landlord-tenant law and landlord-tenant situations.
That's right. And before we move on, we're wearing new Join Us at the Bar podcast swag.
Check these out.
Yay, so fun. And we have on our t-shirts. Now, for our listeners and subscribers, listen here. If you are interested in sending us a note at communications@iowabar.org, we will send you a special free gift as a thank you for tuning in to the Join Us at the Bar podcast. So send us your notes. We want to send you a free gift. And if you have ideas on swag that you would like to see, like what are some of the swag items that we could even come up with, Lisa? I know you have a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, we could do, well, obviously these kick butt t-shirts. So send us your size. We'll see what we can do for you. We could do like koozies. We could do beanies.
Socks!
Yes! Oh my gosh, we could totally do socks. Wouldn't that be fun? And then let us know what you think. Moving forward, we're gonna pick a couple items and probably have a pretty awesome contest. We're gonna want you to like strut your stuff, hashtag us in it, and we're gonna start using your photos that you submit. So hopefully encouraging you to interact with us more and just keep the Join Us at the Bar love growing and spreading.
That's right. So exciting stuff. Send us your ideas.
Yes.
Let us know if you're a subscriber and tuning in. We'll send you a free gift as a thank you and more to come.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and start off with our leadership takeaway. Lisa, what do we have for this episode?
So this time around, we are going to talk about dealing with stress, especially as the holidays approach. We know that while it's a joyous time of year, it does potentially increase some of those stressful situations, whether it's with your family or trying to wrap things up at the office so you can take some of that time away.
Lisa and I had a chance to sit down and talk to Employee and Family Resources Executive Mary McCarthy, and she is actually our account rep for the Member Assistance Program that the Iowa State Bar Association implemented at the beginning of this year. So here's a clip of our interview with Mary. Welcome to the Iowa State Bar Association and the Join Us at the Bar podcast, Mary McCarthy. It's so wonderful to have you. Mary is our Employee and Family Resources Business Manager. And if you didn't know this already, the Iowa State Bar Association partnered with Employee and Family Resources, and at the beginning of this year started offering a member assistance program to ISBA members. And we're going to talk a little bit about that program, and Mary is going to share her top tips for being stress-free or alleviating some stress during the holidays. So again, Mary, it's so wonderful to have you here on the podcast. Thank you for coming. Mary is also a fellow podcaster.
Yes, we're so excited to have you joining us here, the fellow female podcaster, and all the resources that you offer to folks on a couple different levels. So thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
And I don't think that you could be any more qualified to discuss this topic because she's also a certified yoga and meditation instructor. So
Yes.
right in
Perfect.
your wheelhouse.
I know, perfect fit. It is.
Yes, and I know before, Lisa, we were kind of talking about how sometimes the holidays are perceived as, fun and exciting, and not everybody experiences the holidays in that positive light.
No, they're not always the happiest time of the year for everyone. So we just want to ask Mary to help us pass along some tips for getting through them if they are a triggering time of year, if maybe you're feeling a little lonely or just kind of overwhelmed and stressed out. So Mary's here to present us with her top tips for making the holidays the best that they can be.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's really a pleasure to talk about this topic because it really isn't always the most wonderful time of the year for individuals. A lot of times people will experience loneliness and increased stress and anxiety. If they already have a mental health condition, this additional stress can elevate those symptoms, and it can be hard to know what to do and understand, why am I feeling so overwhelmed? Why do I put this extra expectation on myself? And instead of adding more stress of feeling bad about having these feelings, we want to normalize it and let the listeners know and let other people know that managing mental health conditions during the holidays, there are some ways to think about what to do. And so let's dig right into it. As I did a little bit of research to prepare for today's session, I really started to understand that this whole concept of planning and looking ahead and really thinking about what is realistic for me to be able to achieve. Sometimes it feels like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, everyone wants to have a party, everyone wants to give gifts, everyone wants to do all of these things, and it can feel so overwhelming. So when we plan ahead and we look at realistic schedules, that's a tip. And then to remember that it's okay to say no and to set boundaries and to suggest, maybe I thank you so much for the invitation, but I'm not able to attend this time. Let's catch up after the first of the year.
That's a great idea. So you're, still incorporating that person into your life, just making it at a convenient time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And helping yourself and giving yourself permission, like it's okay. And
Right.
even if you don't have something going on that night, but you're exhausted, that can be a good enough reason. You don't have to tell someone why the answer is no. A simple no can be the right answer. The other thing is to think about your spending habits, and this can add a lot of financial burden during the holidays.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I feel like every year it's like, I meant to budget for this, and you got gifting for grandma and friends, and who do you gift for, and what's the budget? That's
Right.
super stressful.
Right, and whether
You have
it's
kids.
the teachers, your colleagues, and I think even just a handwritten card can mean so much. That's a way to still express your gratitude or your thankfulness for someone being in your life. Just drop them a note.
Yeah, and that's really what this season is about, is expressing gratitude, showing someone how much you love and care for them, not what the price tag is on the gift.
That's a perfect point.
Another tip is to keep up with your healthy habits and prioritize those self-care habits, like working out so that you can boost your endorphins, eating well, getting enough sleep. All of those healthy habits can be so important because it's setting you up for success. It's already creating that environment of your own physical wellness so that as you're getting stretched, maybe during this season, you have a reserve and you're prioritizing your own self-care. In addition to that, I like to remind people to prioritize moments of rest and relaxation. It's an environment of that hustle, we're hustling and bustling, and not only are we doing our work in the day and we're attending parties, but then in our free moments we're trying to shop either at a store or online, and we want to factor in to avoid burnout. How can we add just a moment of rest, even if it's closing your eyes for 5 minutes and taking some slow, deep breaths, and establishing a part of your home or a part of your office or a tool. Maybe it's an aromatherapy or something that can just be like, oh yeah, this helps me take a nice slow deep breath in and out and sets me up for relaxation. Another tip is to consider your own mental health support around therapy. One way is just to share your feelings with a friend, right? If we keep it all bottled up, how stressed we are, it can really affect us. But we can also use our EAP or our MAP benefit, our member assistance benefit, and starting therapy. Or if you're someone that already sees a therapist, maybe you want to build in a session during the holidays. You don't know that you'll have something specifically to talk about, but it'll be there to support you. So seeking help can be helpful. And another thing is to respect differences of individuals. Like, not only do we have high expectations for ourselves, but a lot of times we'll get into family events or colleague events and people will be talking about things, and instead of coming to an event judging and criticizing, remember the spirit of the season and just respect differences at this time, and maybe not bring up some of those triggering topics, sure. You know, and
maybe just sometimes avoidance isn't all that.
It's right. All of that. And the last tip I just want to share is helping people remember just to take breaks. Take breaks throughout the day. Maybe it is that exercise break or that relaxation break or the therapy break, or, you know, whatever it is for you. What's important is that we all have some awareness, right? That self-awareness is key, of understanding what fills me up. And it doesn't have to look the same of how you take care of yourself versus how your spouse takes care of themselves, or your colleague or your partner. You know, just having that awareness of what are the triggers for me during the holidays and what are ways that I can care for myself. And if we live and, you know, these our values and our beliefs, then we can model them for our loved ones and for our friends.
And I think that ties back into the respecting differences too, right? As you're taking care of yourself, respect that someone else may need to take care of themselves in a different manner. So it all kind of just works together.
Yeah.
I love that. And 'tis the season, like you said, of gratitude. And on that note, I do want to mention, like Mary said, we do have the member assistance program through Employee and Family Resources that is available to ISBA members. You can reach out to them 24/7, 365 at any time at no cost. And what you would get is 3 free counseling sessions to help you with that issue. So it could be grief, it could be stressors, it could be time management. One thing I learned in conversation with Mary today is that you also get 3 free life coaching sessions as well.
Brand new information.
So, you know, feel free during the holiday season, if you are having that awareness and you need just a little extra support, don't hesitate to reach out. The phone number is 1-800-327-4692, so toll free. And you can also check out the Iowa State Bar Association website. There is a page dedicated to our member assistance program. It's iowabar.org/MAP. So definitely reach out if you need some help. Help is here for you.
And another thing that we found out today is on that page, you can also go back and access, EFR has podcasts and webinars and previous issues. I think Mary said it was on the Stay Connected
Yes.
page, is that right? So you have access to those resources as well that are there and just available for you at your convenience. Maybe that's part of your self-care. Maybe you can, you know, go back and find a podcast that you just enjoy and help center you. So that is available as well. So that we learned so much today about what's actually available to hopefully help get you through not only the season, but year round, really.
That's correct. And our tagline at EFR is life happens, we're here to help.
Oh, I love
We
that.
never know when something's going to happen in our life. And so please remember that we have counselors that answer the phone 24/7, 365. No issue is too small or too big. All you need to do is just reach out and ask for help.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mary, for joining us at the bar. Your tips were really on point, and we couldn't appreciate your time anymore. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
That was so helpful. Mary, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And also, we just want to remind you that that MAP program is available 24/7, 365. It's a member benefit to all of our attorneys. You can access it from our website, and please don't hesitate to make good use of it, whether it's at a crisis moment or just in general. So again, we're here for you.
That's right. Just go to iowabar.org/MAP.
And speaking of help, it brings us to this episode's Wait, what? This episode's shocking statistic. So speaking of help, we just want to give such a shout out of gratitude to Iowa Legal Aid and all the good work that they do throughout the year in so many different facets. Specifically, this time we're going to thank them for all the work that they have done with eviction diversion clinics throughout the year. In 2022, so here's our shocking statistic. In 2022, Iowa Legal Aid worked on 222 eviction cases, and that roughly translates to more than 400 individuals who received help with a pending eviction case. And the great news here is that surprisingly, shockingly, staggeringly, 94% of those cases ended positively, keeping those people in their homes. We know that some of our statistics lately have kind of skewed a little bit sad, a little depressing. It's not always been like, yay moments. So we did want to take this episode to shine a light on some of the positive impacts that are being made out there, specifically through Iowa Legal Aid and their eviction diversion clinic.
Yes, absolutely. Those are staggering numbers. And to put it in perspective, according to endhomelessness.org, on any given night in Iowa, there are close to 3,000 people who are homeless. And so the work done by individuals, organizations such as Iowa Legal Aid, and others to help provide support efforts to keep people housed really do make a huge positive impact. So thanks again.
And by chance you're looking for an opportunity to do some volunteer work, maybe you need those pro bono hours, I'm pretty sure that Iowa Legal Aid and several other charitable organizations would welcome your assistance, your volunteer time. So lots of opportunities out there. If this is something that touches your heart, hits you close to home, please reach out and look for a way to continue the good work that's being done.
Yes, exactly. And you know, Lisa, you bring up a good point because we do have a public outreach department here at the Iowa State Bar Association. So if you are looking for more resources, feel free to shoot us a note at communications@iowabar.org, and we'll make sure that you get the resources that you're looking for.
Yeah, we'd be more than happy to put you in touch if you don't exactly know what you want to do. We have a great resource here that can help guide you in the right direction to do the most good.
Lisa, I think it's time for this episode's case study.
Yes, I'm excited about this case. This one is coming out of Sioux County. It is an Orange City case that Judge Jeff Mary ruled in back in August, and it is on point with our theme of this episode regarding landlord-tenant rights.
Yes, so back in May 2021, landlords and tenants came together and worked with the nonprofit law firm Institute for Justice to bring suit against Orange City.
Yes, what I think I found most striking about this case is that it was landlords and tenants were on the same side. They united together as plaintiffs, and what they really took issue with was under a new ordinance, city officials were to inspect rental properties at least every 5 years. The problem was that they could obtain an administrative search warrant and enter homes even if the homeowner and or the renter refused them access. So the plaintiff's argument was that granting government officials the right to enter into private homes without any evidence of wrongdoing amounted to an unreasonable search. And really they differentiated it was especially problematic because owner-occupied homes were not subject to those same inspection requirements. So it really treated renters and tenants in a different light as someone that was living in the home that they owned. So the suit also argued that there were no restrictions as to when the inspectors could enter, what they could look at once they were inside of those homes, and whether they could just bring the police with them unannounced. And then those inspections could be taken and used as reports of suspected criminal activity.
Yes, so in an August 31st ruling, Sioux County District Judge Jeffrey Neary ruled that the rental property inspection ordinance was unconstitutional and it was a violation of the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution safeguards Americans from unreasonable search and seizure, applied here in the Iowa Constitution via Article 1, Section 8.
Right, and to quote directly from Judge Neary's August 31st ruling, he says, "The court finds here that there needs to be more safeguards or protective measures put in place, as there are currently none in place in Iowa, for the district court to use when considering a request or an application for an administrative search warrant." He also went on to kind of say that the residents deserve advance notice and should have the right to reject such an inspection, or at least limit the areas of their residents that are being searched.
Absolutely, and the attorney that represented the plaintiffs in this case, John Wrench, was quoted saying, "The court reached that conclusion after noting the home has always been treated as a sacred space. It's no different for people who rent their home." So really happy that the landlords and tenants were able to come together, and the judge was able to help support that cause and protect the sanctity of the home, whether you are a renter occupying that space or an owner occupying that space. Your rights are the same.
Well, unfortunately, I believe that is about all we have time for this episode. Thank you again so much for being with us and joining us for these. We look forward to it. We hope you do as well. We always kind of wrap up with our episode takeaways. I think for me, this episode's takeaways are going to be the really helpful tips that Mary shared with us. I am one of those people that loves Christmas, loves the holiday season, and then find myself sometimes maybe overextending or getting a little stressed out. So I'm going to try and implement some of the great and helpful tips that she had for us and try to continue to make the season joyous. Haley, how about you?
I love that. Yeah, I really enjoyed that conversation a lot. That's a great takeaway, Lisa. I am just kind of still reminiscing on that case study that we discussed. And, typically when you hear of landlord-tenant law, you think landlord versus tenant or tenant versus landlord, where in this case, both landlords and tenants came together to bring a case up that a city ordinance was not constitutional. And so having what you might typically think of right off the bat as
adversarial.
Yes, exactly. Typically you would think two parties opposing each other came together and were on the same side. I love that type of story, and really helping drive home that no matter whether you are a renter or an owner, you have rights and your home is your sacred space.
It's your castle.
That's right.
Your home is your castle.
Yes.
We do want to remind you, for a more serious take on the law, please check out the Iowa Lawyer magazine. We also have the Iowa Lawyer electronic weekly newsletter, which is available on the ISBA website. We hope you are able to enjoy your time of thanks and gratitude as we move into the next couple months.
Yes, and thank you so much for sticking in here and staying tuned. We love our subscribers and our listeners. And like Lisa said, we won't see you until the beginning of the year, so enjoy your holiday season. And we love hearing from you as well. So please, if you have ideas for future topics or guests or segments, send your feedback our way. It's communications@iowabar.org. Shoot us a note, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button. If you get any value out of this content at all, please hit that subscribe and help us reach our goals so that we can continue producing this podcast for you. Happy holidays. Thanks for joining us at the bar.
We're here for you.